I know entrepreneurs that they specifically looked for an ambitious partner. I know entrepreneurs who have partners that they don't live with because that works better for them. And then I have entrepreneurs that I coordinate with and network with, and their partner has their own business and has their own thing going on. And they like to both be really busy, and then they can turn it off and come back together.
If you're going to give like either a question or advice or perspective to a entrepreneur who does want to build that business, who does want to do that, what traits in a partner would you recommend that they find?
I think that's a hard question to answer because I only know my partner and
Sure.
my situation. And I know entrepreneurs that specifically looked for an ambitious partner. They wanted somebody that was right up with them, ambitious, working towards X, Y, and Z goals in their career. My partner is not like that at all. My partner knew that I was ambitious when we met 15 years ago, knew that I had a ton of goals, ton of things that I wanted to achieve in my life. And he wanted to just be a teacher.
Hmm.
That was his goal when we met. He wanted to finish school and become a teacher and have that union job and just be that rock of stability where he doesn't take his work home with him. When he leaves the classroom, he's done for the day, which is great because if I had to be with somebody else who was always answering emails and on their phone and closing deals and traveling the world, that would feel really lonely for me, I think. But knowing that I have a partner who doesn't travel, is always home, and we communicate very successfully of what's going on in my life, what's going on in his life. There's a big whiteboard in our kitchen of all of my travel and what I'm doing and where we're going. Wanted to be that stability, and that's what I wanted in my life. That also allowed me to not feel that this was a daunting task to be an entrepreneur and go out on my own and start my own business, because that's the scary part too. You're like, what if this fails? What if I don't make enough money? What am I going to do? Luckily, I have this safety net a little bit, right?
Yeah.
That allowed me to take more risks than maybe somebody would be willing to do. So that's worked really well for me. But I also know entrepreneurs who have partners that they don't live with because that works better for them. They have their own space, they get together, they do things, and they've lived like that for decades. And that works really well for them. I think that's great. And then I have entrepreneurs that I coordinate with and network with, and their partner has their own business and has their own thing going on. And they like to both be really busy, and then they can turn it off and come back together.
Yeah.
They also get to travel together. I don't get to do that with my partner because my partner doesn't have the same flexibility that I do. He can't just get up and leave. So I have to be really strategic about, okay, I'm traveling, I'm doing work on these days in these places, and okay, you can come in on this day and you can fly out on this day and go back home. So it's a little bit more, but I do get to then share with him a little bit where he wants to be included. So I can't say that there's something better than the other. What I have, it works really great, and I don't mean to brag, but it's
Wow. I honestly, I love that. I think Wade is always this silent character that I don't think I've ever actually met him before, but he's like such a prominent figure.
Exactly. You've never met him before.
But
I had a whole group of my clients that thought he didn't exist. They were like, you talk about him and we see him on your Instagram, but maybe he's AI. Maybe he doesn't exist, but it makes you feel more human to have a partner, like a fake family.
Yeah.
He's real.
I'm curious. Well, I bet he's real. I believe you. I'm not questioning that. I am curious about why do you think you two work? Because a lot of people on the outside might say, oh, I see a partner and they just want to be a teacher, and instantly reject that person if they have more ambitious dreams, or vice versa. Somebody's like, I just want to be home. I want to go to my job. I want to do this. I want to have a nice, simple, easy life, and not want a partner who's highly entrepreneurial and wants to do all these things. Why do you think you two work? Was there something else beyond all of that you guys were really drawn to, or were you drawn even to that opposite within each other that pulled you together?
I would say the opposites definitely attract us. We had very similar, there was also similarities that we were drawn together. We knew that we wanted to have a farm or we wanted to have space. But if somebody's an entrepreneur and says they have a farm, you're like, oh yeah, you probably have a farmhand or something that wants to you. There's no way that you have time to run a farm, right? For me, it was, I knew that I wanted those things, but there was no way that I would have the ability to manage all of those things. To have Wayne say, those are the things that I want as well, but I also want this really stable lifestyle. Wayne is also very routine based. He has the same routine every single morning, and he's worn the same clothes for 15 years. He is very straight and
Mhm.
narrow with what he is working towards. And he has very specific goals that he works towards, more like personal development, which I think is awesome. It all comes down to communication. You have to talk about where you're at and what you want and not be afraid to make a move. That's what it is for me, is that we're both action-based people. We talk about something, we make a decision, and we do it. Wayne is also ambitious like me in the sense that he gets up before I do on the weekend. He is chopping wood. He is lighting a fire. He is planting the blueberries. He is doing the vegetable garden. We have a very specific plan of what needs to happen on our property. It's fruit harvest. We have to harvest all the fruit. He does all of that. And so he is very ambitious in those things. I'm very ambitious in my career and being an entrepreneur and paying for all those things that to happen on our farm. That's what I really enjoy. Being different, but communicating that, and then finding where is that middle ground where both things connect, even though you're very different, I think is important.
Yeah.